Friends, in this video, we are going to be reading the book, All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. This is a psychological thriller. It's about some girls that get disappeared. There's some killing. There's some, like I said, some disappearance, some kidnapping. It's fantastic. It's very small town. Lots of friendships, lots of lifelong relationships that we watch develop. Lots of wind whipping up out here. Ooh, things are going to start sticking to my lips. I got to go, but I wanted to let y'all know that there are things that happen in this book that y'all might need some trigger warnings about. So if you're the kind that gets upset about things or that's likely to get triggered by things that you read in a book, you might want to check the trigger warnings before you read this book. So I'm going to kick you back to about a week ago when I started reading All the Colors of the Dark. And y'all, hang in there. About halfway through this video, I make a surprising announcement. And frankly, it was a bit of a surprise to me too when I made it. So y'all hang out and watch for that. For now, I'm going to kick you back to me and the beginning of All the Colors of the Dark. Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, I've been thinking, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't done a good old-fashioned reading vlog, so I tell you what. Y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'm gonna get these felons settled down. Y'all can hear them yapping. I'm gonna get posted up somewhere and we're gonna talk about what we're gonna read. All right, y'all. I only have a few minutes to read, so let me tell you what I got. Can y'all see this? It is gloomy and overcast out here. Look at this. You see those clouds? I don't know if you can even see that, but it's windy. It's a little bit chilly. It's not nice. And I was gonna get my feelings all hurt and start whining about the weather, but then I thought that it's actually pretty fitting for the book that we're about to start reading, because we're gonna start reading All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. And I don't know much about this book, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I think we knew something about it when I first talked about it, and then I immediately forgot what I knew. I believe it's about something about some missing girls and a boy that gets involved with the whole thing. I don't know much about it at all, but it's getting rave reviews, so I'm gonna start reading it. Like I said, I do not have much time to read today. I have like dribs and drabs of time today to read, so I'm gonna read like a little bit here and there. But here's the dealio. I want us to read it together. Like, I want to talk to y'all as I'm reading it, and y'all know how I get all freaked out about spoilers. So I want to tell you things as I'm reading, but I am not going to give spoilers. And I'm going to figure out how to do that. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out. So let me go start reading. I know. I'm already losing my mind. I'm like 17 seconds into this thing. I'm already freaking out, losing my mind. So let me start reading. Like I said, I believe it's some kind of mystery about some missing girls or a serial killer, a serial murderer. Is that the same thing? Kidnapper, girls missing, something like that. And I think that some boy like saves a girl, gets involved with one of the girls. There's something about a boy getting involved with the girls that are going missing, or being involved with the girl that's going, okay, I don't really know, but I know that it's something about some girls going missing and a boy. So let me start reading before I get even more confused about what's gonna happen. Let me start reading and I will be back, not today, because today is crazy. I will be back probably tomorrow or the next day and let you know when I actually know something. I'll come and tell you what I know, all right? So y'all, you know what? Y'all find something to read and I'll come back and we'll talk about it, all right? So I'll see y'all in a couple days. All right, y'all, we are obviously headed oot and a boot, which I kind of hate because I want to sit at home and read books all day, but we are headed to the doctor's office. So I kind of love that because that means that I'm gonna have time to sit in the waiting room and read my book. So let me tell you, I think yesterday when we talked about this, I didn't know nothing. So let me tell you what I know now. I know, so we have met our main characters. I only got to read, oh y'all, this traffic. We are just barely on time for the doctor and I hate that. And now we're gonna be late and I super hate that. But anyway, let me tell you what I know. So we have met our main characters who are Patch and Saint and their kids. But the book is like this thick, so they can be kids the whole time. They live in this super small town in like Missouri or somewhere. And Patch is called Patch because it took me a minute to figure this out, because he was born with only one eye, and he has he lives with his single mom who tries to like normalize his patchness and makes him think he's a pirate. So his the fact that he only has one eye, so he wears a patch. So she makes him he believes that he's a pirate. So he has this whole pirate thing going on, and he meets Saint, who lives with her single parent grandma. And I already don't want to tell you too much. I know I said that there are going to be things that I tell, but I'm not going to tell any spoilers. But now I feel like everything is a spoiler because, y'all, this book is already so charming, and I already know that it's going to, I'm already sad about what's going to happen, and I don't even know what's going to happen because the characters are so rich, and the setting, and it's small. Did I already say it's small town? Small town. The setting is so rich, the characters are so rich, everything about it is just so rich, and so you get sucked straight into it. And so I already know it's going to break, it's just going to be devastating. The whole thing is going to be devastating. I'm already in love with all of it. So I've told you nothing. So Patch meets Saint. He sort of doesn't literally throw himself on her, but he just kind of throws himself into her life, and then they become friends because he definitely doesn't have other friends, and I think she also doesn't have other friends because they're just kind of outcasts. So they become kind of cast into each other, and it's just really good. And the way they are fiercely loyal to each other already. So that's going to be a lot. And like I said, I haven't had a ton of time to read, but we've met Patch and Saint, and we love them and love the town. Something's up with Patch's mom. Not sure what that is yet, but I have a feeling that's going to be a thing. And like I said, Saint lives with her grandma, and Patch asks Saint, I wish I could read you this, but I'm not going to. I have my good Lord, Kobo here. I'm taking it to read in the doctor's office. But I need to get a case for this thing that will actually hold this stylus, because I am forever losing my stylus off my Kobo. But it magnets, I'm sure I do this wrong, but it magnets onto the thing. But when you magnet it on there, it goes over the page turn button. So I know, nobody cares. What am I even talking about? Oh, so Patch asks Saint why her name is Saint, and Saint says that her grandma named her and said that it's because she's all the blessed things or something. How sweet is that? Anyway, let me get out of here because I need to drive fast and get to the doctor's office, and if y'all go with me, you're going to get me a ticket. So let me go, let me read. I'll be back later and let you know what I know. All right, y'all. My doctor's appointment's over. I survived, but I have to tell y'all a variety of things. Starting with, I was almost late because of, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but can y'all see that stupid, fancy, dumb, whatchamacallit, parking meter that you got to pay on your phone, which I knew they had those here, and I thought I had the thing on my phone all set up so I could pay it, which I did not. So it took forever to get it working, and so I was almost late for my appointment. I actually just ran into my appointment and did it from inside the doctor's office. But anyway, hang on. Let me get pulled out. I was going to just sit there and talk to y'all, but then I was like, all right, well, that's kind of a jerky move because folks are going to need this spot. So anyway, so I get in there and I'm sitting there. So I check in and the doctor's running late anyway. So it's all good. It doesn't matter that I was almost late. So then they're like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, I was late too. So, I was 10:01 for a 10 o'clock meeting, but still, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. Anyway, so what are you trying to say? I'm sitting there reading, and I hate this because I never know which roads are one way and which roads are two way and which roads go which way. I just need to get out of this stupid city and get back up to my little town. So I'm sitting there. So I'm sitting there reading. They call me back. And I'm sitting in the examining room, and I just got to a really good part of my book. So I'm like, all right, I just like stopped in the middle of a not stop sign to let somebody walk in front of me. I'm such an idiot. I seriously should not be driving cars. And then y'all just jumped in my lap. I legit should not be driving cars. All right, I'm gonna go this way and see if I can get home down this road. I know, I'm a hot freaking mess. All right, they gotta stop. They definitely have a stop sign. And they're not honking at me for pulling out, so I definitely had the right of way there. Anyway, so I'm reading, y'all will see in a minute why I'm so like this. So I'm reading. Well, something happens in my book, and I'm like this, like all freaked out, like I just swallowed a bug or something. Knock, knock, knock on the door. It's the doctor. Come to do my thing. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. She's going to come in, and y'all, my heart is racing. I am fully freaking out. I think I want to go up the hill here. Like full on freaking out. And of course they're gonna like take my blood pressure and check my pulse and all that, and like seriously put me in the hospital. I mean, they didn't, but I was like, they are gonna think y'all are like, I don't know what's happening here. Anyway, so okay, I thought that was gonna be a funnier story than it was. It was very funny at the time because I'm like freaking out, thinking they're gonna think I'm freaking out. When I'm freaking out over something in my book. Anyway, so then what happened was, finished my appointment, everything's fine. It was just like a check for my migraine meds and stuff. Everything's all good. Come out, get in my car. And y'all remember, I'm gonna like give up this story before we get to the story. Remember back in the day when we were having the issues with, I would go to start my car wouldn't start? Right? Well, y'all saw where I was parked, like on that busy street in the middle of downtown Duluth. Not that it's like downtown New York or something, but still. So I go to start, like push the start button, nothing happens. Or it goes, I'm like, no, sir. But that's not, but that's not how it happened when it would not start before. Like before it would just be like, I ain't doing nothing, and just sit there all silent. So I'm like, what is happening? And I looked, and I don't even know what it is, but there's a little like thing on the dashboard that's like it's like a box with a key in it and a line through it. And I'm like, I have my key. Like my car wouldn't have unlocked had I not had my key with me. So I take out my key fob, and I mashed the like remote starter button, thinking it's going to remote start with me sitting in the car. I don't know what I was thinking, other than that the intern bought me this fancy jump pack for my car, and I don't know how to use it. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to call the intern, who hates this car anyway because it does things like that and doesn't start. Oh shoot, there's the coppers. Jinx it, the fuzz. So I was like, I'm gonna have to call the intern to come downtown in the middle of a work day. Y'all are not looking at the top of my head, and jump my car with the jump pack that's in my car because I don't know how to use it. So I'm like, no. So I'm like mashing the buttons on the remote starter, of course, which of course isn't remote starting. So I put that down, and I'm like, please, just don't even do this to me right now. So I'm like, and all the dashboard's all lit up, which isn't normally what it does when it's not going to start. So I put my foot on the brake like I really mean it this time. Mash the button, starts. I know, y'all, right? So yeah, it's apparently going to be that kind of day. So I should really just like cancel all my classes, cancel all my appointments, and just go home and sit on the couch and like drink rosé for the rest of the day, because I should not attempt to accomplish anything else the rest of this day. But I'm gonna. So I don't know why I just told y'all all of those stories, but now you know all those things. So I'm gonna head up the hill. I got some classes to teach, but I think I have some time this afternoon to read. And I know I didn't tell y'all anything about what happened in the book other than that it made me look like I swallowed a bug. I wish the lake, I almost said Lake Lanier, that is in Georgia. I am not in Georgia. Lake Superior is right down there, and I wish I could show it to y'all, but I'm like driving up, well, you can kind of see it out my window. I am driving up a curve, and I don't dare like take my eyes off the road to look at what I'm trying to show y'all. Maybe you can see it over there. It's absolutely, I mean, it's like half gorgeous, but it's really hazy right now, so you can't really see it. But anyway, that's why people live here. Hang on, let me get y'all back over here. All right, so what was all that? I need to think about what I'm going to tell you about the shocking thing that just happened in the book, because I got to think about what I'm going to do about spoilers. So let me go home, let me do some work, let me do some thinking, and I will come back and tell y'all some things. All right. So I will, well, I mean, I've like 400 more pages to read, so I'll come back later and tell y'all some things. All right. So y'all enjoy your day, and I'll be back. All right, y'all. Let's make some plans and talk about this book. So when last we met, I told y'all I was going to think about what I was going to tell you. Then I was going to tell you. So now let me tell you. Here's what's up. So I told you something shocking happened, right? I'm making plants. I thought we could sit out here and pot some plants without me knocking things over and talk about some books. So I gotta see these plants. They're growing fabulously well, but I think they'll grow better if I break them up into separate pots. And this one, look at this one. Look how gorgeous this plant is. I've had this thing for years. It started out, this one I just got last year. I mean, I still want it to do well. But this one started out as one of those teeny tiny little like $4.99 plants you get like this big. And look how big it is. But look, I don't know if y'all can see, well, I guess I can focus. I can like zoom in. But when I water it, it like keeps dipping down. So I need to take it out of here, break it up, and build up the soil around it so that it can root better. So that's my plan whilst we're chatting. And I'm stalling because y'all know, I want to tell you things, but I'm so nervous. So, all right. Here's what we know. We know that bad things happen in this book. I need like paper out here. I'm just going to make a humongous mess and just be done with it. We know that bad things happen in this book, right? That bad things happen to some girls in this book. Well, Patch has a crush. So Patch, and we know that I've told y'all that Patch and Saint are poor and they're kind of outcasts. Well, Patch has him a huge crush on this girl, Misty, who's all popular and rich and stuff. Well, I'm just going to tell you, he sees Misty getting attacked and goes to help her, and it does not go well for our buddy Patch. And bad things happen to Patch. And Saint does not do well with that at all. And Patch disappears, and Saint just cannot accept, one, she doesn't believe he's gone, and two, she just can't accept it. Like, I mean, he's like half of her. Like, they are best friends, and she just cannot accept that he's gone. And y'all, it is just painful. Probably as painful as it is to watch me try to do something with this plant when I have no idea what I'm doing. It is painful to watch this poor, sweet little girl. I mean, she just fades right before your eyes in this book as she's just completely unable to accept the fact that her best friend's gone. And, you know, and they're in this tiny little town, and we watch her run around and like try to do things to make him being gone not true. And oh, y'all, it is heartbreaking. And so watching her go through that, and then watching, snout full of dust, watching the people that love them, I swaney, it is not always windy here. It's only as soon as I sit down outside and try to film something that it gets windy. It is just heartbreaking watching the people that love them, watch them go through what they're going through. So there's that. And then, so that's that. Like, that's the one thing that like I needed to tell y'all about that happened in the doctor's office. And I was like, wait, what just happened? And then the doctor walked in, and I was like, all like I swallowed a bug, which y'all know the intern has learned. I mean, and this is my own fault, but I mean, which though I guess it's kind of good. The intern has learned to ask when I'm upset, if I'm like book upset or real life upset, which is a little annoying when I'm real life upset, but it's like, it's really good when I'm book upset that he asks before like reacting to me being like completely outside my mind, worrying like that somebody's dead. I wonder if I should break these off and root them. I'm gonna just let this grow in here for a while before I think about trying to root it. But I bet that's what you're supposed to do with these things. Anyway, so that's what we know about that. Well then, there was this big like progression in the book. And now I'm to a part where, and I'm absolutely certain this is intentional on the part of the author, but y'all, it is downright hard to read. Like not like emotionally hard to read. I'm not trying to be all like dramatic, like, oh, I can't even read it. It's so difficult to watch my friends go through this. I'm not trying to be that way. But like, it's seriously hard to follow. Like the ideas and the sentences are so disjointed that it's hard to follow. And there's another book that was like this, and we've talked about it, and I cannot for the life of me remember. I'll remember it while I'm talking about it. It'll come into my head. But I'm certain that the author means for it to be that way. Like, they want us to experience this for some reason. And they'll explain, like, we'll understand it later why we're supposed to be feeling like our brain is on fire when we're reading this part of this book. But y'all, I cannot do it. So I have in my chair, which I'm not going to pick up right now because my hands are all dirty, but I have my tellular phone out here, and I'm going to listen for a while to I downloaded the Audible of this book. And y'all, I'm going to start using the, having the, what's it called? Not Kindle. What's the thing where you have your book have your phone read to you? Alexa. Having Alexa read to me. I'm not going to do it with this though, because it's already so difficult to like, it's not hard to follow. It's just hard to like tolerate that. I want to have like actors do it to make it better. So I'm going to listen to the Audible for a while, and I don't know that it's going to be better, but at least I think it'll go faster than me trying to read it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm stalling telling y'all something because I'm so nervous, and I know that as soon as I put it out in the ether, I'm going to have to do it. So, well, I'm going to do that. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. But, so I have decided, y'all, so I've split this channel. I split my food and fitness content off of this channel. I'm trying to do this without killing this plant. Like, I'm trying to find the big roots so that I don't break them when I separate these. So y'all might, I don't know if y'all know or if you don't know, that this channel has memberships because I've not done much with them. Thank you, Lord, thank you. To those of you that have subscribed and who have been loyal members of the channel, I appreciate you so, so much. Here's what I'm going to do. I am gonna, now that summer is here and my teaching schedule has changed, I'm about to, and I think the students that I'm about to do this with don't subscribe or don't watch my content, so I can say this and they're not going to find out on YouTube. I'm going to lighten up my teaching schedule some. Y'all, there's way less roots to this thing than I thought, and now I'm getting very nervous. But I'm going to lighten up my teaching schedule some and work more on developing this channel. This is part of why I split off my food and fitness content from my book content, because my plan is to develop my book content more and then work on my food and fitness content. So here's what I'm going to do. I got to figure this out. I have, like I said, I have memberships, but I think, and I'm not completely certain yet, but I think I'm going to start transitioning my memberships over to Patreon, and I'm going to do a lot more stuff on my memberships. I'm going to do some kind of book club. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do, but I don't want to commit to it by actually saying it out loud. I know that's dramatic. Anyway, I'm going to do that, and let me know if y'all have any interest at all in reading sprints, like where we'll read, people do these, and some folks love them. I don't know if we will like them or not. Maybe I'll just do them and see if folks like them. But those will be like the, I'm going to have, so right now there are 2 tiers of membership, and then I'll have a 3rd tier of membership that'll have live interactive content, and that'll be the book club and like reading sprints and stuff. So let me know if you have any interest at all in reading sprints, which will be, like I said, did I even say? I'm so nervous talking about this, y'all. This is such a huge step, but where like we'll set a time, it'll most likely be on a weekend, but I mean, the members at that level, okay, I'm gonna just break this plant right here and separate it. The members at that level will decide, like we'll decide together how and when we want to do that, but And I will, you know, like live stream reading, and we'll read together and for certain periods of time, and then like have breaks and talk and do whatever. But so that's my big, I know that was like the craziest announcement ever, is I'm gonna start a Patreon. And I did a horrible job splitting up this plant. Look at this. This is just bad. And I'll leave my memberships that are on YouTube on there. So if y'all want to stay on those of you who have been members, want to leave your memberships on the YouTube, that's great. You are perfectly welcome to. Nothing will change there, but there will be more like new stuff over on the Patreon. And my goal is to have that up and running by July 1st, which is very soon. And that's horrifying to me, but that's my plan. That's going to be the big change. So it's out in the ether now. I have to do it. So I am going to listen to my book and try to save these plants now that I have done this to them. And I will be back later. Actually, I'll probably be back tomorrow or the next day once I've made some more progress on this book and let y'all know what I think. All right. So I'm going to start listening. And I will see y'all when I see ya. Bye now. Friends, we need to talk about what's happening. We need to talk about, hang on, we need to talk about 308 pages of trauma bonding. Now, I still love it. I'm still enjoying, I mean, not necessarily all of the colors of the dark. I'm enjoying a lot of the colors of the dark, but it is a lot. Y'all, it is, sorry, I need to jump on the bike, but then I got to teach a class after, so I'm like this. But it is seriously, so far, 308 pages of trauma bonding, and that is a lot. I'm still enjoying the setting, I'm still enjoying the people, the town, all the things, but like the further you get into this thing, like the more you're into this thing. I don't know if the intern's here, I don't know what is happening in my world right now, but let me tell you what's finna happen. I'm finna take a little break. I'm not gonna DNF the thing, but I'm gonna go like old school friend style. We were on a break. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna get on the bike and I'm gonna read, can y'all even see this? I'm gonna read some Abby Jimenez. They are the same person in my head. Y'all settle down. I'm having issues with this thing. So I'm gonna read some Abby Jimenez. I have this, I believe it's a novella. It might be a short story, but I believe it's a novella called The Fall Risk. It's like 100 pages. It's a perfect little palate cleanser. So I'm gonna get on the bike. I'm gonna read that. I will come back and tell you about it, and then we'll head back over to Missouri and see what our friends are doing, because like I said, y'all, it's a lot. And did I trigger warn y'all about this thing? I'm gonna have to go back and shoot an intro to this whole thing and trigger warn. Like, how do you not know that if you're like triggerable, you might need to be careful about a book about freaking serial killers and folks disappearing and stuff? And y'all, it's seriously, and I'm saying this in jest, but it really is a lot. And there's a lot of stuff in this, and a lot of, I mean, at the risk of sounding dramatic and all like, oh, I need a safe space, but there's a lot of emotional like pain and distress and things that people experience right in front of you in this book. So if you are, I mean, and I'm joking about being trauma bonded and needing a break. I mean, I do need a little break. Like, it is a lot and it is very heavy. And so I just want to read something light and just have a little minute. But if those things get to you, this is not going to be, I'm enjoying this book. This is the book for me right now. It is, if those things get to you, this is not the book for you. Oh, and I'm going to have to edit that down because I just yelled super loud because I remember I said that earlier on, the writing was very disjointed and fragmented, and it was making my brain feel broken. If you've read the book I'm finna talk about is a young adult book called We Were Liars. I'm gonna stick in a picture here because I'm pretty sure that's the title. And I'm not gonna tell you why it's that way because that's like the point of the whole book. And we don't do spoilers, because Because I hate it when people do that, like, talk about a series and they'll be like, oh, this is book 3 in the series, and remember back in book 1 at the end when we found out that so-and-so was pregnant with her brother's baby, and you're like, well, I was gonna read that, but now I don't need to because you just spoiled the whole thing for me. I'm not gonna spoil that book for you, but it can be challenging to read in parts because it is so fragmented and disjointed. Well, then when you find out, like, the whole thing about the book, that's the reason that it's written the way that it is. The part of this book that I was having trouble getting through is written the way that it is for a reason. I can't even like articulate. It's breaking my brain trying to talk about it, but it's very much like I think it's We Were Liars is the name of the book. But anyway, that's all. I'm gonna go get on the bike. I'm gonna pedal for a while. I'm gonna read some Abby Jimenez and calm myself down, and I'll be back later. I'll tell y'all about this, and then we'll get back into that. All right, so it's morning time. Y'all have a good morning, have a good afternoon, and I'll see you, I don't know, later in the day. All right, see y'all later. Friends, I just got fully smoked in that ride, and now I have to pull all of this together and make it somewhat presentable for a class, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Y'all go on, take a second and judge me. We're here to talk about The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez and how much I loved it and how it was the perfect palate cleanser from this train wreck. Oh, by the way, BT dubs. When I came in and like turned on my camera, I realized I had my mic plugged in all wrong. So sorry about the audio on that last clip. I know, I do this all the time and I still can't get it right. Felon Bo is laughing at me saying that I need a sound tech. He ain't wrong. Anyway, here's the point of all this. The point is not for y'all and my dog to make fun of me. The point is for me to tell you about The Fall Risk, which is, I could argue either short story or novella. I'm going to go short story because it really does center around like one event, but it goes beyond that event. Anyway, nobody cares. It is about our two main characters who are neighbors in an apartment building, and I can't tell you much because y'all, it's literally like 50 pages. So like if I tell you much, I'm gonna tell you the whole thing. But they get stranded in their apartments over the weekend, like, yeah, I was gonna say over a period of time, trying to be all like sus, but over the weekend. And of course it ends up being one of these. And he's like all hunky. He's an arborist, but he's like a climb trees, work on trees kind of arborist. So he's like all buff and manly. And she's, I mean, it's Abby Jimenez. So he's all manly and she's all like towards men. And then, you know, one thing leads to another. I don't recall there being any spice. I mean, I just read it. So I think I would recall there being spice. And it's only 50 pages. So, but it's very cute. It's very fun. It's all the things. It's, you know, there are good characters and then there are good supporting characters. And like I said, it is just a quick little amuse-bouche to, you know, just sort of get us over the trauma bonding in this thing. Because y'all, we finna go right back to the trauma bonding because we got to figure out what's happening here. So did I tell, I think all I told y'all was I didn't want to, there's the, whatchamacallit, the grill is right there and the sun is hitting it and bouncing directly into my eye holes. So I really do need to hurry and get cleaned up and get to class. But let me just tell you what's up here because I need to start reading like after class, after I shower and things. Lord have mercy, Danielle, make a sentence. So, you know that bad thing, and I don't want to tell you, I don't want to say too much. So bad things have happened and we are with we're with Saint and some other people really like trying to parse out what happened, like trying to find missing people and trying to figure out who the bad people are. And it is a mystery that we spend hundreds and hundreds of pages tracking down. Now, it gets a little long at times. And there are places that I've read and then listened to and read and listened to. It does get long. I've read, like I've seen what, y'all know how I love me a bad review of a book. I've read like bad reviews of a good book. Like this, I think this is like a 4+ on Goodreads, but there are like some 1-star reviews that are like, Lord Jesus, that could have been 1/3 the length that it was because a bunch of stuff in the middle didn't have to happen. I don't necessarily disagree, but I'm enjoying the stuff in the middle, but I'm just like listening to it while I'm doing other stuff instead of like eyeballs on pages reading the whole thing. So, but I like the characters and I like the places they go and the things that they do. So it does get a bit wash, rinse, repeat at times, like you find a clue and then you go through the clue and then you move on, and then you find a clue and you go through the exact same things with the next clue and you move on. So it does get a bit wash, rinse, repeat kind of in the middle. And I got like 200 and something pages yet to go. So I'm gonna teach my class, I'm gonna get cleaned up, I'm gonna read a bunch, and then I might not even come back until we really know some things. So let me get a bunch more, look at, I know. Let me get a bunch more done and then I'll come back and we'll reconvene and then we'll finish this thing up. All right, so I'll see y'all in a while. Friends, I'm the worst friend ever because I went ahead and finished. I want to call this the color of money every single time. All the colors of the dark. I went ahead and finished without y'all, but then the brown man and the purple man came and brought us some packages. So I thought I could unbox some packages and show y'all some fancy stuff and distract you while I tell you about what, like the end of the book and what I think about it. And I'll distract you with fancy stuff and you won't be mad at me for finishing reading without you. So first, we have some stuff handcrafted in Boulder, Colorado. Y'all, this is my tea. I love this tea. So this is from the Tea Spot. And I know this, hang on, it's crumply, because it's the only place I buy tea from. This is a pound of Boulder breakfast black tea, and y'all, if you're a tea fan, and especially a black tea fan, this is, I promise you, try this. It is so, so good. So it's a good, strong black tea with just a touch of a chocolate taste to it. It's what I'm drinking right now. It is so good. Boulder Breakfast and Morning Mojo are my two favorite black teas. They are so, so good. But anyway, so, and it's not, y'all, it's not cheap, but it's not like super like oolong expensive either. So it's good. So I got me a pound of this and some Amazons. So this is a few orders all rolled up together. So some of this is going to be just like my subscribe and save, and some of it's going to be good stuff. So my turmeric, that like my monthly, which is good because I was down to like my last 2 pills. This, man, go on about your business because you're not going to care about this a single bit. But, well, I mean, I guess some dudes exfoliate, but ladies, if you exfoliate this, the Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub is so, so good. I used to buy an expensive sugar scrub at my waxing place. Oh, and I ran out. I don't know if it was during COVID or what it was, but I started buying this just at the Walmart, and it is so good. It smells good. It's like it moisturizes, and it is every bit as good as the one that I was spending literally probably 10 times as much. I know. Okay, maybe not 10 times, maybe like 7 times as much. Judge me. At the waxing place, this is just as good. And now I just have Amazon send it to me because it's easier. Go on, judge me for that too. Y'all are judgy today. Anyway, so that's those. I got some new kitchen shears, and let me tell you why. So I thought these were in the sink. These are the ones, they're dirty. Sorry, I used them to make my salad today. I am just a trash bag today. Look at that, ew. But anyway, I use these literally every single day. I use them for all the things in the kitchen. They're KitchenAid, and I bought them. I've probably had these for 20 years. And I use them in my food video, like my cooking videos all the time, because I use them all the time. And people ask where I got them, and I probably got them at the Amazons, but like 20 years ago. And I cannot find that. Like, I like the fact that it's this shape, like this blade. I can't find these. So I got some Westcott ones because these are the only ones I could find on the Amazon that look even remotely similar. So I'm going to try this one and see if it's as good as this one. And if so, then I'll just recommend these to people. But I want to try them first and not just be like, well, those look the same. So I got these. I know. And then, y'all, so y'all have heard me talk about my twin students. The boy, like I have the boy all day long, every day. Well, I meet with the girl a little bit, and her parents have asked me to meet with her and talk books and stuff. And I was like, look, I am up to here. I'm stressed out. I've got no time to do anything else. I cannot. And she is last year she was a voracious reader. I can't get her to read as much right now, but I said, I do not have time to read and keep up with this child. I said, I'll talk books with her, but I cannot read and keep up with her. So her mom's like, just talk to her. Just give her books to read. Just talk to her. So I said, hey, child, won't you read Pride and Prejudice? I was like, I'm not going to buy the book. I'm not going to read the book with you. I read it 100 years. I read it probably 40 years ago, and I've taught it a few times. I said, but your mom will get it for you from the library. You read it, and then we'll talk about it. I said, I'm not going to buy Pride and Prejudice again. I'm not going to read it. I know. So, but look how pretty this is. I've held it up like 5 times. Look how pretty it is. It's this, I didn't realize it was this weird size, but it is beautiful. And I thought today I should just send her one of these, like a beautiful copy of Pride and Prejudice. If she likes it, maybe I will. We're already struggling a little bit with it, but whatever. She's great. We'll be great. It'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be fine. We're fine. Everybody's fine here. How you doing? Anyway, so there's look how pretty it is. My Pride and Prejudice. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. All right, y'all. I'm going to end up rereading Pride and Prejudice, and I got the new Taylor Jenkins read. So this was one of those buy one, get the second one at half price. So I did. So I honestly, like I often say, I don't know anything about that book, and then I tell you things I know about it. I know nothing about this Taylor Jenkins Reid book, except that I think it's historical fiction, but that doesn't even ring true although I guess maybe you could say that, what was the one that's like the Stevie Nicks book? Davy Jones and the Six. Daisy Jones and the Six. Davy Jones, good Lord, woman, how old are you Monkees fan? Anyway, I'm gonna need a second after that. That one's kind of historical fiction if you count that, because it was from the 70s. But so this might be historical fiction. I don't know. I have no idea what it's about. But I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I got to look how pretty it is. It's just fun looking. Oh, look. Oh, no. That's a space shuttle in her glasses. Gen X, do you need a second? I know I do. All right. So that's all that. So now I know I was going to like unbox and talk to y'all at the same time. Let's talk about all the colors of the dark, and then we out of here. So I got over my trauma bonding and started reading, and I was like, well, I'm just going to read a few pages, and then I'm going to like get posted up, and my friends and I are going to read this together, and we'll finish it. Like we'll finish out the thing together. I had a whole plan. We were going to sit outside. I was going to set up. The intern actually brought us home a whole table, like because I was on that little like weird little table for my planting of the plants. He brought me like a whole table to do the planting of the plants. If I want to do that again, so it would be easier to set up and all the things. I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. Started reading and just could not stop. So I still think that the following the leads part is very wash, rinse, and repeat. And you're like, for the love of all that's holy, can we get past this? And it's not like all the same thing over and over again, but I can see where if you're finding it, I don't know, cumbersome, belabored, it gets long. I didn't mind it again because I like the characters, and there's a lot of character development in those things. Like you see things going on with the characters through the whole thing, and you're like, hang on, isn't that gonna be? And then it turns out to be what you think it's gonna be. So that's interesting. But y'all, a lot of things happen in the last 100 pages of this book. So if you're like slogging through the middle and you're like, I literally cannot even finish this book. Listen to it on Audible, have your phone read it to you, do whatever you have to do to get through the middle to get to the end, because it is worth it. I cried, and not about so if you read this book, I'm just gonna say this is not a spoiler, but I'm gonna say that when I got to a certain point, and you will know this point the instant you get to it, when I got to the point where I was like, oh, Saint didn't, I cried, like bawled openly, because that was the one thing about Saint that there was just something about it that I was like, that just doesn't fit with me and her character. And at the end I was like, that's all I'm gonna say about that, because I will not give that away. But yeah, y'all, I honest to Jesus cried. So, I mean, right? Like, shocking, Danielle cried when she was reading a book. Go figure that one out. Anyway, it's good. The character development is fantastic. I say this often, that like I forget to talk about banter in books, banter in books is very, I mean, it's important to anybody, but it's really important to me. Like, if the banter in a book is bad, I can't. Like, I cannot enjoy a book, even if it's like great storyline, great, characters, great character development, great beat, but you can't dance to it kind of thing. If it doesn't have good banter, I cannot get up next to it. This book had great banter, and I forget to mention banter in a book because to me, good banter just sort of blends into the background. Like, if you don't notice it, that's how you know it's good. And in this book, you don't notice it, and that's how you know it's good. And there are a bunch of different types of characters. Like, you have professionals, you have these, they're not hillbillies like Demon Copperhead, Appalachia hillbillies, but they are, I mean, and they're in Missouri, like they're out kind of in the middle, but they're like country-ish folks. So you get that kind of dialect, you get rich and poor, you get all of those things, and the characters sound the way you think that they should, and they do it well. It's fantastic. I truly, truly enjoyed it. It might be a little bit too long, but I was okay with that. The length of it didn't bother me. That wash, rinse, and repeat bit didn't bother me. And I think I said earlier in Sorry Boot, the audio part of this video, that the part that made my brain itch, I don't know if I said that it makes sense when you find out like what the damage is in that part, but it makes sense when you find out what the damage is in that part. To me, it all makes sense, and the whole thing comes together. It's a lot, there's a lot of it, but it all comes together. So I really, really enjoyed All the Colors of the Dark. I was going to, I was like, I'm gonna wrap this up and we gonna go. I know, let me say just a couple more things and then I'm gonna go. I think when I first hauled this book, like when I first got it, when we first talked about it, I think I said I was gonna read it for Summerween, and I really did think about that, but I was thinking about reading this book as like the mystery thriller kind of book for Summerween, and then there's another, which, good Lord, I got to get on my Summerween books, but so there's the mystery thriller book for Summerween, and then there's the like book that you've had for over a year or something. Y'all, I have got to read Babel. Like, I have to read Babel for that. So, and I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna get through this and Babel, because I knew that this was gonna be heavy. It's not, I mean, there's some darkness to it. It's not as dark as I thought it was gonna be, but I mean, there's some dark to it. But, and it's not the good kind of dark, like Butcher and Blackbird kind of good dark. But I knew that I was going to struggle trying to get through that and Babel, which I don't know that that's going to be dark, but I expect that it's going to be heavy. So I figured I'd go ahead and do this now and then do that then. I don't know why I felt a need to give that disclaimer, but that's all I got. So y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Let us know in the comments. Have y'all read this? Did you start reading it and DNF it? Because it is kind of a lot. Or the Fall Risk, that novella short story. Any interest in that? Y'all let us know in the comments. What are you reading? What do you want to read? What have you been reading? Let us know. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. Just go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos over on Fit Danielle Eats at the beginning of every week, with some book videos over here sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.